So I had two experiences recently that really hit me hard and renewed this perspective that I want to live my life with. And so I'm going to explain those two experiences and then go over what happened, what it caused, what emotions it elicited for me, and maybe how it can help you in your life shift your perspective onto a new path, a new trajectory of appreciation, of gratitude, of responsibility. So here we go. The first experience, I was sitting in the sauna, which I highly recommend for overall wellness. I was sitting in the sauna and a man walks in and he has burns all over his body and he only has one arm. And when you see something like this, it elicits an emotional reaction. I thought, where did he get these burns and scars? How did he lose his arm? Was he born like this? Was it in war? Was it a childhood trauma? Did something happen? Did his house burn? All of these emotions start to flood. And then you think about your own life, your own body. And then you start to get really grateful for the things that you do have. And so that was one experience. The second experience happened very shortly after that. So these are back-to-back experiences that really sort of punched me right in the face. And the next one was, I heard a story about a woman who just recently lost her son to suicide. And of course, that's absolutely tragic and devastating coming from someone who's lost their sister to suicide, knowing the sort of pain, the never-ending pain you feel from losing something like that or losing a loved one just in general. That's absolutely horrific. And then learning more of this woman's story, I learned that in a 3-year span, she lost her son, her husband, and her son. The son being the most recent one. But in a 3-year span, she lost 2 children and a husband. Imagine that. That's so painful to think about. And obviously, it elicits an emotional reaction of what can we do in our own lives to try and become the best version of ourselves. We hear these stories, we see things on social media, but we don't really digest them and how they can alter and change our perspective about how we live our life. Because we always get trapped inside of our mind. We get woe is me. We think we're the victim. Only horrible shit happens to me. I have the worst luck in the world. Why does bad stuff keep happening to me? And these little annoyances. My car breaks down. I got to get gas. I drop the food on the floor. All of these things start to add up and then it blows up and it becomes a sort of bigger thing. But if we can use these stories that we see and hear and feel and actually digest these stories in a way where we can shift our perspective, we can zoom out, we can take a bird's eye view and feel like everything's going to be okay. Like everything's going to be okay. And if we can have that perspective, we have to be able to zoom out and know these are just little occurrences that happen in our life. The little things that we have a responsibility over. Because just like the examples, we don't have control over what happens to us or the events or the circumstances. Most of the time, these things are uncontrollable. Yeah, we have influence of how they go and we have ownership over our life and we have agency. Of course, all of those things are real and true, but sometimes uncontrollable events happen in our life, especially the most horrific and painful ones. But what we always have power over is how we respond and the ownership and the action we take after those events happen. Now, if we use these two people as an example, obviously the person who is a burn victim and has one arm, he's still getting after it in the sauna, doing the work, in the gym, working hard, doing everything he can to be the best version of himself. This woman who lost 3 people that she loved in a span of 3 years is still trying to find joy in her life through her granddaughter, through other means of fulfillment and joy, knowing that we have the agency and the choice to still find hope, to still find love, to still be a joy in this world because we are responsible for how we respond. We learn that from Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning. We learn that you are response-able. You have to take ownership and agency over your life. You cannot adopt a victim mentality. You have to adopt a growth mindset of what can I learn, how can I grow, and how can I move forward with this? Not moving on, especially from the horrific, painful things we deal with, but we move forward with them. We move forward with them. And then another thing that you want to think about outside of the shifting your perspective, zooming out, and being response-able is the gratitude and the preciousness and the fragility of life. Appreciate the things while you have them. Value the things that you have now while you have them. Your arms, your legs, your body, your soul, your mind, your friends, your family. Everything can be taken away from you in an instant. And that's not like this threat or looming dark cloud. That's just the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the world that we live in. The last time you see someone could be the last time you see them. So why not appreciate fully the things that you have? Every single morning when I wake up, I thank God for renewing the breath in my lungs. I thank God every day for my parents, my friends, my soon-to-be wife. Thank you. Renew the breath in my lungs. Thank you for this energy, for this joy, for this ability to live another day. An absolute fucking blessing. No matter what happens, no matter how much terrible shit happens around me or to me, I know that if I have breath in my lungs, there's still something to be grateful for, and there's still something that I can do about it to make the situation better or to make the people around me better. So understand that life is fragile. Life is precious. Value the things that you have while you have them. Send the text. Go on the vacation. Do the things that you love the most. Understand that you only get one of these. There's no test run for this life. This is it. This is the go time. This is the only life you get as far as I know. So might as well make the absolute most of it and use the courageous stories around us of other human beings doing amazing stuff as motivator that you can do the same thing. You have that skill, that knowledge, that motivation, that mindset. You can pick it up. You can pick up that perspective, that gratitude, that love. You can pick it up. You can use it, and you can become that person that people are inspired by. So I really wanted to share those two examples that really just hit me hard, renewed this perspective that I want to live by every single day. And I figured I'd share with you guys. So let this motivate you. Let this fuel you. Let this sink in to your bones, into your body, and use it as a way to be grateful and appreciative for what you do have while striving to become the absolute best version of you with this perspective of a growth mindset, being able to zoom out, see the bigger picture, and know that in almost every situation, you have control over your response. Take extreme ownership over that. Have some gratitude and love for the things that you do have, and be response able. And I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.